What's up, ski team athletes? Essentials video number 2, we are going to go over the squat pattern. Now again, the squat movement pattern is one that is fundamental to all our athletic movements and strength and conditioning programming. Now, when I think about the squat, it all starts from the feet and moves its way up. So we have to set our feet first and then we go up the chain. So when we start our squat, again, like I said, it starts in the feet. It starts with creating a high arch. Now you can create a high arch by digging your big toe into the ground. You can see that that automatically gets that arch in my foot a little bit higher as opposed to this. If I have those arches flat, it kind of already sets my knee up to go into that caved position or that valgus position. So again, if I think about creating a high arch, it stabilizes that ankle to then produce force up to the knee without that cave. So we drill that big toe into the ground to create the arch. Next, we think about creating torque with our feet, right? So creating torque, I want to think about moving my feet outwards or screwing my feet into the ground. You can see how my knees are right here. If I think about screwing my feet into the ground, my knees automatically go right over the ankles. That sets it up to get power from all the way to the ground up into the hips a little more properly. So now that we've created that big arch, we've externally rotated our feet. The movement then starts with a hinge at the hips. So some people drive the knees forward right away, right? And we can see that is automatically not a super advantaged position for our body. So it all starts with dropping the hips back first. So again, the hips drop back, and just like that athletic stance, we have that chest wide open and shoulders back. Then the hips move back, and then we flex our knees all the way to a full range of motion. Now again, we are skiers, so I try to emphasize squatting with our feet forward and try to eliminate a huge turnout of our feet to squat, right? We always have feet forward in the boots, so trying to get those feet as forward as possible is what we're going for. Again, there can be some turnout, but we want to have those feet forward, and we want to go through a full range of motion, because we are a full range of motion sport. So we want to try to get as low as we can, and then pop back up. A lot of people get to right here, we want to emphasize that full movement in our squat. So again, starts with the feet, then we create torque to set the knees up, then we hinge at the hips, all while maintaining that tall upper body all the way. Now another important thing is the squat is our breath pattern. So we take a big breath before we drop into our squat. We do that to stabilize our spine and make our chunk really strong. So I want you to think about it as if our spine was a can, right? And if you were to try to step on an empty can with no pressure and no carbonate, if it wasn't already open, it would just crumble right away, right? But we take that big breath in our squat, right? Big breath, drop down to stabilize our spine. That creates pressure in our trunk. Now what that pressure does is stabilize that spine, especially under any load. When we get into barbell work, we see this especially. So we really emphasize the breath. So it's like taking a can. If I take that big breath, it stabilizes the trunk, and you're able to put a lot more load on that pressurized trunk, right? So it works very similar to the same in our body. If we use that big breath to stabilize that spine, our body can take a lot more load safely. So again, this has been the Essentials video 2 of our squat pattern. Again, starting at the feet, big toe to create that arch, external rotation, hinge at the hips, keep the upper body tall, and go for a full range of motion. Now again, everybody's squat pattern is going to look different, right? Nobody is the same. I'm a small guy, so my stance is really narrow. So I encourage you to mess around with your squat stance, see what is comfortable, and see what you can do so we can keep getting after it.